All right, everyone, and welcome to the SMG Weekend Tournament. I'm here with Potato, and we welcome you all into this finals game. And it's going to be a best of three, and I'm looking forward to it. Flash on D versus Radiance.
Let's go Flash on D.
Yeah. I see that we are not
No,
impartial
no,
over
I'm
here.
I'm I'm not biased. No bias. Let's go Flash on D. Let's go.
All right, everyone, and welcome to the SMG Weekend Tournament. I'm here with Potato, and we welcome you all to the finals
I
game.
think we're having some.
It's going to be a best of three, and I'm looking forward to it. Flash on D versus Radiance.
Let's go Flash on D.
Yeah. I see that we are not.
Potato, I think we're having some audio
Oh yeah,
feedback from
I
your
was
end.
having sorry that my bad. I was having some double audio issues. We have fixed that, and as I was saying, let's go Flash on D. Let's go.
Let's see how this goes. And I'm also really excited because the Asian Games are about to start. So that's going to be a very interesting tournament to watch as well. And
That is
we're.
very hype indeed, and our boys are going to be participating over there. But while we wait for that, we do have some action back here at home on in South Asia with the SMG Weekend Tournament. So
Yeah, and it's really good to see grassroots tournament making a good comeback here in our region. It's obviously not the biggest league region, but it's always good to see it grow. And we're gonna try and make sure to bring you guys along with the journey and hopefully bring you more tournaments, more opportunities for you guys to show off your skills. And it's just a lot of fun to play tournaments, isn't it? It's not always about like the most flashiest plays or anything like that. It's always about having a good time with your friends and making the scene grow and keeping it vibrant and active. So we're just waiting on like the players to be ready so that we can bring you into the draft. And make sure to like, share, subscribe, and tell all your friends about the stream and tournaments that are going on. Keep an eye on the SMG page and on the streams for more updates, more tournaments that might be coming along in the future.
yes, definitely make sure to follow our socials to keep up with all of the action and yeah. So it's been a while since we have done a tournament over here. So I am fairly excited, even though I haven't played the game in a while.
The game can take a toll, especially with everyone's lives going on, but it's always something we never really quit League, do we? We always say we quit League. We're always back.
They always come back probably.
It's because it's like one of the only few games that you can play with a lot of your friends all together. And when a League game is good, it's one of the best games ever. But, you know, when it's bad, it's bad. But yeah,
Hey
the
boys,
dichotomy of
I
League.
feel offended that this person, random person on the internet has picked X champion. I am now going to provide sustenance to the enemy mid lane.
League of Legends, but United Nations should learn something from these people. How to feed people. They're doing a lot of good for humanity, you know.
True that. World
Riots.
hunger would be solved if League of Legends players were allowed to provide for more underprivileged communities. But unfortunately, there's a pretty solid line between fantasy and reality.
Riot is proposing some new changes that if you get banned in ranked, you have to play some normal games with good behavior to unlock ranked again. So let's see how that change goes. Hopefully, it's positive. It's sort of like I don't know why League doesn't implement like Dota's system of low priority, where you have to win matches to actually get back into the ranked queues. Same with Valorant. You kinda, if you're com banned, you're not allowed to play ranked. Alright, the players are finally ready and we can get on to the draft and let's go. Flash on these. First ban is Kane. I hate that champion, so I'm glad that it's banned. It just seems like no matter how far behind it goes, it's just always relevant in the game. Radiance ban out Jarvan, another really strong champion in the meta with the Gore Drinker and Shojin build is super strong. On the other side, Mordekaiser gets taken away, one of the staple picks here in our little community. So I'm not
Ah,
surprised
yes,
that's gone.
Mordekaiser.
No
We
matter
have
what
a.
meta, no matter who's top lane, you know there's gonna be a Mordekaiser pick or
I
ban.
don't know who it was who told me that, but someone was like, Mordekaiser is the national champion of Bangladesh.
Yep. Every top laner can play Mordekaiser and hates playing against Mordekaiser. So,
The duality of man.
we see a Veigar ban. That's very interesting, actually. I think Veigar is sleeper really OP. Not enough people play him, but I think he's really, really strong. Surprisingly, no Renekton ban coming through. We see the Hecarim getting taken off though, and the Kaisa gets picked up.
Yeah, definitely
Kaisa,
super unexpected. The Kaisa pick, never seen that one before.
Kaisa first pick, has never seems to go out of meta either. Even not just here in all pro communities, oh, Kha'Zix being hovered. Kha'Zix lock. Very early Kha'Zix pick. That is interesting.
That's a spicy Kha'Zix lock if I do say so myself.
Oh my god.
First pick Kha'Zix.
First pick Kha'Zix. Sees that Kaisa, I know what I'm gonna do. Kha'Zix,
So
lock it
they
in.
do take away the Nautilus though, so no Kaisa Nautilus for the side of Flash on D. So they will have to make do with something else to get all of those free stonks down in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Thresh is still an option, but I don't know if Flash and D is willing to pilot Thresh. Let's see what they go for. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a jungle counter pick. There we go. I don't know if that's jungle, to be fair. Zac is a very weird champion.
I think Karakata does like to play Zac in the jungle, so it could be as jungle Zac, but yeah, the champion. We have seen Zac being flexed over to the solo lanes as well, so it is a bit
Yeah.
of a flex play.
It is a bit of a flex. I think Zac actually really works well into Kha'Zix. A good pick. Surprisingly, we're seeing more variety here than pros in tier 1 leagues have shown all season. So that's.
Oh my
There we
god,
go.
is
We see a
that
Taric.
Tarek?
Oh my god, we see a Taric pick, a Zac coming in. First pick Kha'Zix, and now RT is hovering. The Yasuo shifts away from it, probably gonna pick up an ADC. Wants to go with, they're flexing their picks quite a bit here, can't seem to decide what they want to go for. I would suggest a Zaya into Kaisa is actually a pretty strong pick. Nope, they go for the Samira, kept us guessing there. Samira is also really strong if you can get a lead.
Boys, it's all in or nothing. Welcome
Yeah,
to South Asia.
Radiance is just all in. Flash on D at least has some peel with the Taric and the Zac and, Kaisa's mobility. This is
Feel,
South
bro.
Asian League, right? It's one
Feel.
team just goes ham.
We pop the ult and we go in.
Alright, we should see some mid lane target bans now with neither of the teams having picked them up. Vladimir gets taken away. That's also a very interesting ban. I don't think I've ever seen a Vladimir in the last 2 seasons.
I think Zuko did play Vlad in the last game versus Pentagon. I think it was Flash and D versus Pentagon. Flash and D, of course, won that game and therefore is in the finals. So probably thinking of taking that. And that's your Renekton ban.
There we go. It's in RTO's name, so I was surprised didn't get picked up so late. And there we go, Ornn ban, another staple pick, also considered like a noob champion sometimes in our community. That when you don't know what to play against the top lane, you just pick Ornn. But also Ornn has very unique strengths that is sometimes not seen by us. And yeah, not surprising there. Another top lane ban perhaps, or maybe targeting the mid lane. Another
Yeah,
top ban. Malphite gets
rock
taken away.
solid.
Yeah, they're trying to kind of target some of the more easy engage champs. The Malphite are obviously really strong, can set up the Samira and the Kha'Zix. And we see the Aatrox lock in. Aatrox was super strong for a few patches. I think he's been nerfed a bit now. He's probably on the balance side now.
Yeah, did get a nerf recently, so we'll see if the Aatrox runs rampant on the Rift, healing away, not dying with stuff. But I'm
Alright,
kind
Potato,
of.
I have a bet for you. I have a bet for you.
Alright, I'm listening.
How many first item static shifts do we see this game?
Oh shit, man. See, I know Zac, Tarek, and Seth want to make a static
Yeah.
shift. So I'm betting on Kaisa making a static shift. Samira, so it's
Nah, I don't think Samira
I
gets
don't
static
know.
shift.
I think one so far I'd say one static shift. Wait, is Kha'Zix building static shift these days?
No. I know a weird game build though with guys. Oh, Echo.
Ooh.
Mid lane Echo. They don't really have range Flash on D.
It's
I,
all
I
kind of melee champions.
yeah, like it's kind of that's a bit of a sus angle. Yeah, Aatrox was nerfed a while ago, but still picking these many melee champions into the Aatrox and Kaisa, even though Kaisa is a range champion, 525 range, not really the highest range champion out there. More, more known for her mobility and slipperiness and stuff like that. So this Aatrox is going to have a lot of people on the front line to bonk with his big sword.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. We actually see Aizen is gonna be piloting the Syndra. It should be pretty good into the Zac, especially if he can cast the stand aside properly, get him out of the engage. Same with the Set and the Echo, who's gonna try and dive into them. If Zac can get an engage, which can be followed up with the Taric stun with him, I think that's what they're trying to do. Zac with the long range engage with the Taric attached, yeah, and set up some good combos. Perhaps that's the game plan. We'll have to see. On the other side of the Radiance, it's all in everywhere except the Syndra. Even the Syndra kind of all in. I take that back.
Yeah, they just gone completely for an all-in kind of comp. There's some pick potential out there with the Syndra Nautilus, but same on the other side with the Zac and the Kaisa, kind of a decent amount of pick potential, but mostly a lot of split push strength, I'd say, on the side of Flash Undy with the Echo,
Yep,
with the
and the Set,
yeah,
and
a
the
lot of
Zac
split
ganking
pressure.
the splits.
And
It's
I
gonna be
feel like
very
split
interesting.
push, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I feel like split push is always a bit harder to pull off in our super high low games.
Yeah. But you split push can be really strong if you can actually coordinate with your team. So that's something that the Radiants need to keep an eye on because they don't really have this. They have strong side lanes. They do have a Syndra and an Aatrox. But if the matchups are not in favor or they fall a little bit behind, the Echo can kind of start taking over the game.
Yeah, and these champions do snowball very hard with the Kaisa, Echo, and the Set. You give them a
Yeah,
couple of kills and it just goes out of control. It's really the same on the other side as well, with the Samira, the Syndra, the Aatrox, and the Kha'Zix. All champions that can snowball extremely hard and just completely go out of control.
yeah. One thing that I don't like about the Kazakhs in controlled environments like tournaments and things like that is it's really dependent on you getting early leads. So if they can shut down the early leads, Kazakhs kind of becomes a bit useless in my opinion, unless you're really, really good at maneuvering him. We've seen like pro junglers use Kazakhs well, even without early leads, but we've also seen pro junglers be completely useless if they don't get a lead going.
Yeah, and it
Um,
might be a bit hard with this kind of composition to actually get people isolated and take them
yeah,
down if he doesn't get a lead early on.
there's not really too many good targets for the Kazakhs. There's Kaisa, but even Kaisa has ult, and Echo has ult. Zack's not really a good target you want to go for. Neither is Seth, neither is Tarek. And
Yeah,
even if you get
that's
on someone, if Tarek is nearby, Tarek ult can also really screw you over.
yeah, it's going to be really hard to dive the back line of Flash and D with the Kaiser. Like, really good self peel. And obviously, we have the Tarek, Zack, Set, Echoes, all champions who can lay down a lot of area control and make it really hard if you just want to, like, kind of dive into the enemy back line.
Yeah, so it's kind of like both sides are just gonna be clashing hits and seeing who can mechanically come out on top. And it's not a both sides aren't really going for very complicated comps, but we are seeing some interesting picks, so that'll be fun to watch. And especially this Tarek. I think Tarek is very weak right now, personally. I feel like he needs way too much mana, needs too much time to get online. But if he can, that's really strong. I feel like Tarek is just a weaker version of Sona. I don't know why.
I think he definitely brings a lot to team fights in terms of defensive capabilities and sustain wise, he's out there. I mean, even Sona has a fairly solid amount of sustain, to be entirely honest. But yeah, I think it's more about that really strong team fight and taking time bomb with Tarek versus
Yeah,
the Sona, who's more of an all round kind of just empowers everyone kind of champion.
I
But
feel like with Tarek, you can't be proactive because your stun takes so long to actually proc. Most ADCs have so many dashes nowadays, they can just get away from it. But
yeah,
as a reactive support, like if things are diving into you where you don't have to time it, you can just use your kit to kind of peel for your carries and heal and
things like that, that's when he shines really well.
True that, and that's going to be the big question mark in down in the bottom lane for me. We have these extremely strong, aggressive champions in the bot lane with the Samira and Nautilus duo. So if you get hit by one thing, it's just going to
Yeah,
start compounding with the Samira knock up, follow up, and all of Nautilus CC. So we could see people drop down incredibly fast in that bot lane, and the Taric ult won't really come in fast enough. So it's gonna be on Flash on D to play this early game out really carefully till the Kaisa can kind of get her items and turn into a Kaisa.
half the time Nautilus doesn't even need the AD. He can just have LQ himself.
It's like we welcome to League of Damage.
It has gone down significantly since the durability patch, but it's starting to creep up again. So let's see what happens. But yeah,
Yeah,
Nautilus,
Riot has
Leona.
said they will remove mythic items soon, so that's something to look forward to. At least I personally do like that direction of getting rid of mythic items, and
Yeah,
I agree with
half
a
the
lot of
time it
things about
felt
that.
he feels like you're playing against an item instead of the champion.
Yeah, exactly. Feels like you didn't get hit by a lot of stuff, but you just all of these random item procs kill you. And
Yep.
I like the idea of sending League back to a time where it was more champion versus champion rather than items
Item
damage.
spikes, yeah. And like ADC is having a free dash, but bruisers don't get to have it. But then bruisers have 50 items, mages have like two. There's also that going on.
Going back to simpler times,
Ah, yes, simple times. Gunblade. Very simple.
very simple gunblade Katrina. I don't
Don't
know
even
what.
start with Katarina. I don't even know what she builds
Get
anymore.
to the simple times. We can make whatever we want.
Just waiting to get onto the game so that we can bring the action to you guys. Until then, stay tuned as we talk about Katarina, the most simple champion in League. It just seems like every Katarina I face loses lane, then just randomly goes bot lane and gets like 3 kills and like, oh, she's fed now.
Yeah, and it looks like we are finally onto the rift. Flash
That's what
on
it
D
seems like.
versus Radiance, and we are playing on the patch 13.18. That's nice to know. I was not aware.
Yeah, it's like 5 patches forward to Asian games, which is on 1312 for whatever
Yeah, that's
reason.
kind of
Whoever
crazy.
decided that. So let's see
Yeah, I
what the
don't
level
know
one
what's
holds.
going on over there.
Someone just decided, oh, 1312 and like side by side looks cool. We should play on that.
We're just cruising along on 13.18. You know, that's just how it do be like. And it seems that it's going to be more of an aggressive start for Radiants where they're hovering around in the bot side river, but don't seem
No
to be
commitment.
doing too much with it.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they go in. Although against a Zac level 1, it's kind of troll because Zac just has his passive. He's not gonna die too quickly.
Yeah, even with Samira, I feel like you need a bunch of levels. Kaisa is like unusually strong at level 1.
Yeah,
A lot of
if
people
the
don't
fight
really
extends
accept
and
it.
she can proc the thing, then she's like unusually strong.
But it looks like on Flash on the Kalakatta going to start without a leash that lets his bot lane head out to lane immediately and start pushing that wave, get some priority in there. And that's something they're really going to like because their goal is going to be riding out this early game and just, getting to the point where the Taric ult and the Kaisa scaling kind of starts to take over.
Yeah, especially in the early game with the Nautilus Samurai, you don't want to give them that chance. They want to hit the level 2 first. Make sure that they're safe in lane. There we go, level 2 hit, and they immediately step forward. And like I was saying, Taric ult is notoriously difficult to land, but that's still good for them because they want to avoid the early kind of skirmish.
Big boys in the top lane. He's chonky. Me fight.
Nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened. Sen is still full HP. I think Aatrox is also pretty
This
much
is
full
both full
HP.
edges. Oh, me hit you. Oh, me hit you back.
The Doran blade starts also means they have a bit of sustain going in, so nothing. Just
Now,
gets a
correct
good
me if
trade in.
I am wrong, but I think the HPs are starting to go down in the top lane.
Yeah, Set finally hit level 2, and I think from now they can actually start hurting each other a little bit more, but they still have sustained. Set used his up, importantly. Aatrox still has a pot left. So that's gonna be good. Echo struggling a bit as expected in the early levels. Gonna eat a lot of harass.
And Mr. Singla is casually standing on top of a ward. We don't know if he's aware, but he is going to back off now.
I don't think he was aware. The Kazakh is topside. He's looking for something. It's gonna be hard for him to
Yeah, but it
use
seems
his
that Zuko has
set
sniffed us
new.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
SGN going on the Zuko. That's a level 4 set. And
Set
Syndra is
should be
also.
able to just kill him. Oh my god, I don't know why they were trying that. Aizen is here trying to get something done. But it's 2 kills on for Radiance. It
And the
seems like
shield is
Alakanta
going to.
also here. Yep.
That was something. And yes, set.
So yeah,
But that's
set
really-
is very, very difficult to kind of take
That
down.
is, I would say that is not ideal for the side of Radiance because Set had already pushed the wave out, and look at that, he's just going to walk back to the lane. He doesn't miss anything of that. Whereas
Yeah.
SDN has to respawn and go out and clear his bot side jungle. Skalakata is pretty much uninterruptedly continuing to clear away.
Yeah, and Kalakata there was a little bit late on the counter gank, but here we see a lot more trading going on. Zuko and RTO. I don't think RTO wins
Oh
this.
my god!
Yep. RTO, that was interesting trade. We'll keep it at
This is
that.
where I go ahead and say classic mistake. Decides to fight the set, and the top lane set, of course, had already gone back and purchased his item. So RTO
Yeah,
is
he had pickaxe, he had double buff. I don't know what
Yeah.
the decision making was.
yeah. So
But-
I think he thought that minion I have big wave. I fight this, but he
Oh,
just
there we go. The Nautilus hook lands actually onto Tarek. Tarek lands the stun back. There's the sustain. It's a pretty even trade overall. But Tarek can of course sustain it back. Samira's not done though. Samira wants more, but she doesn't have level 6. I think that's that.
yeah, pretty spicy trades going down in the bottom lane, but they're going to be fine with that. They're just going to look to heal that up. And Zuko has himself quite a nice lead at this point, 2-1-0 up in the top lane. Yes, the Aatrox also has 1 kill, but he's kind of Aatrox still doesn't have items.
Yeah, and he's falling really far behind in CS, and the wave position is not really good for RTO either. He's constantly having to run up into this lane, and yeah, that's gonna keep happening
That's
the more
going
he
to be
does
another
that.
fight, and
Oh, there we go, level 6. I think RTO's dead again. RTO's trying to make something happen here. Actually, good Q3, but Zuko still has W and everything up. On the bot side, the Samira Nautilus blade finally starting to take effect, and Tarek is forced back.
if we have a quick look at the summoner, this is the exhaust from the Kaisa blown and flash from the Taric down. He is going to look like he's going to take a reset over there. Summoner spell still largely available for the side of Radiant's bot lane. That ignite did go down. But it looked
It's
like
gonna be
Singla
up
is
to
going
Radiant bot
yeah.
lane to like bring this game back because their top side is really
And
struggling.
the topside situation has really deteriorated, and now we kind of see the impact of RTU. I don't know why. Is Iron Spike with just like one component these days or something? Like, why
No,
not?
it's big,
why
it's
not
big
no?
X in 3, yeah.
I just assumed that it was an oversight in result because he did teleport back to lane without the items and ended up getting into a fight again. But kudos to Zuko for picking up on that and immediately deciding to punish him for it, not buying items before coming back to lane. That's kind of an int. And
Okay, the dragon should be pretty safe for blue team here. I don't think Radiance can actually.
yeah, they're just
Contest
not
this.
in position, but it looks like
Oh,
they're looking for
actually,
the fight.
they're
I
gonna try
don't
and
know
go
about
for a
this.
pick. Yeah, that's the pick there. Zack is actually running away. Flash of T is caught slacking here. Oh, he managed to get away. He's thinking about going over the wall, but no, they're gonna back. That was a very weird sequence of events. That should not have happened 4v2.
Yeah, they should have chosen. They knew that the bot side was hovering towards that bottom brush and kind of, you know,
Yeah, it should have been something
kind of lazy to
communicated.
just try to walk
Yeah, it was
through that.
very lazy by the Derek. His carries are nowhere nearby. I don't know what he was trying to do.
Yeah, especially because he was already pretty low, so it's just not ideal overall.
RTO bringing the CS back a little bit, but still pretty far behind. And he's just gonna try to avoid the fights with Zuko as much as possible, and Zuko's gonna try and force the issue as much as possible now. Pretty sure he's just waiting for his ultimate or his flash to try and get in on him. RTO trying to keep the distance. And although the top lane situation is pretty bad for Radiance, they actually have a gold lead. It's slight, but you would expect them to fall behind in goal with the Aatrox going so far behind in the early game.
Yeah, but the thing there is, most of them are going to like be all of that gold difference is just split among multiple members over the bottom side of Radiance, I assume. It's kind of
Mhm.
hard to see right now
Yeah, we
what
can
the
see
situation is.
Zuko
But
actually.
it looks like Kha'Zix is going to go for this Herald, and I don't know how this might end up because
No, I don't think it's good. But before we talk about that, Nautilus gets the engage on. Samira has the 6, he has the ultimate, pops it finally, but there's so much damage going down on him. Finally, Nautilus now comes through, can't save his ADC. But that is advantage over onto Radiance as they gain both the kills there. Very good discipline there by the Samira to hold on to her ultimate and not just pop it immediately. And
it,
yeah, I think the Kha'Zix was forced to back off the Herald there,
yeah, kind of rough
unsurprisingly.
because the set is super duper ahead at this point. And
Oh,
oh
oh!
no,
Kalakata actually lands it in. It was invisible. Kha'Zix trying to get away. Aizen. Oh! He jukes it. I don't know if it's a juke or a miss, but now it just gets
that
completely ignited. It's gonna fall.
gets taken down by the ignite anyway. So Zuko not taking teleport is starting to, I would say, really pay off over here.
Yeah,
Kind of,
RTO tried to keep his lane partner away from his jungler, but you don't need to fight him if you just ignite him away.
so after that loss they took in the bot lane, this slight consolation prize that the enemy ADC also did go down, and they weren't really able to fully reset the wave down in the bot
Oh,
lane.
RTO is like going through it in this game.
KK is just
Good
having
damage
fun.
back.
KK is
Yeah.
just having fun, man. He's kind of being a dick here.
Yeah, it's just stopping RTO from
He's
recalling.
being annoying, like, hey there,
But
buddy.
that forces RTO to stay, or else he's gonna miss such a huge wave.
And
But
this would look
KK
like
does
a
have passive. They might look for a dive here. Yeah, he's gonna cut him off. RTO trying to see what he can do with his Qs, but nope, not enough. And there he goes down again. The Aatrox is struggling really hard right now.
yeah, he's just falling further and further behind the snowball, kind of going out
Oh,
of control.
Stun lands. Actually, that's a really good damage, but they don't commit to it. But there we go. Tariq gets hooked in, has to pop his ultimate. They should look to go aggressive here, but they chose not to. The killer instinct was available. That was the moment to go in. But
Probably
now
a good
Kha'Zix
choice
is
because
here.
Kha'Zix was also hovering over there, so going in there might have been kind of, you know, that would have been pretty iffy. And Sunfire just completed for the Zac, so Kalakatta having a great time playing around his top lane. And it looks like the pressure on the mid lane is also starting to fade away as Charan is able to hold his ground over there against the Syndra.
Yeah, the more levels it gets, the easier it gets for the Echo. Especially with ult and everything, he can start trading much more aggressively. They're actually trying to. I don't know if they're trying to stay in the bush and like kind of bait them, or are they actually looking for a back? They're allowed to back here, yeah.
This should be a back, like a bit of a greedy back that goes unpunished, and more of the same in the top lane as RTO. I don't know why he's trying to fight this.
I think RT is just trying to crash the wave and get out of here.
It was kind of already crushed.
Samira going for Stride Breaker. That's a very interesting first item choice there from coming out from the ADC.
Is this a thing now?
I am not too sure, unfortunately. I haven't seen it too much, but I'm not sure I've ever seen it actually. It looks to be kind of like a solo queue type build where you just want to make sure that you can stick to your targets. Obviously, with Samira, it's a lot about diving in. So it's the thinking is correct. So, but I don't know if the build actually works or does it fall off. I don't imagine it's the highest damage build.
Definitely not. That's always gonna be static shift.
Static shift, static shift.
Static shift. Let's go for it. And another hook connects over here as we
Yeah,
rant about static shift, but
Tariq.
much is going to come out of it, I guess.
Yeah, Tariq should just be able to heal up right there, and Herald is just for gold, nothing much else.
I kind of
Does
want
get split up between
yeah,
Samira and Khalik over there.
I kind of wanted to
Luckily,
see Herald in
nothing goes
mid,
over to not.
honestly.
Mid lane is they're just chilling.
Oh, I was actually in the Zack's jungle. I wonder if he'll be able to steal it away. Yeah, he does. Zack, a bit sad about it, misses completely. The bot lane is trying to roam in to try and cut this Kha'Zix off, so is the Echo, but I think Kha'Zix has jump. Yeah, he does. Just gets away from it. And Natsu was also in place to try and stop the rotations from coming in.
Very, very cheeky.
Yeah, just walks in, steals red, and walks out.
Walks
But
in, he's like,
Kalakaka,
mine.
why did he cancel his E? I don't know why he cancelled his jump, but he gets the pullback anyways, and there's the ultimate. Radiant bot lane, their lane that was ahead is falling down. Finally, Samira gets taken out. One kill is traded back here, and Kha'Zix is in the fight now. 2v2. Finally, Taric ult is popped. I don't know if they can finish this off in time. They cannot. Now Kha'Zix is in trouble. They get another kill. Another TP comes through. It's the Syndra this time. Syndra trying to get the kills off. Doesn't manage to get it. Zack is trying to finish off Natsu now. Should be able to. What a great pullback, and Echo has joined the fight. And it's Flash on the completely taking over this fight now. That Taric ult completely turned around the fight.
Let's go Flash on D. No bias.
That Taric ult bought so much time where Kha'Zix was forced to fight these two people who are not taking any damage from him.
And
he
I
just
cannot
falls.
emphasize like how bad this is for Radiance. Like that bot.
Yeah, you can see the player goals on your left, and Zuko, unsurprisingly, is the highest gold. This is terrible for Radiance, as you were saying.
Like that bot side was what was ahead, and now if you look at the bot side, never mind that, we have some more action over here.
Yeah, Samir is trying to turn this around. Zack, there's the Stridebreaker, but it doesn't do enough, and Kaisa has enough shielding where it doesn't matter.
For a second there, I thought Set had bought a rocket, but I was like, oh boy, are we getting really spicy? The spice is turning out a bit mild for Irwin over here with his Stridebreaker. Samira, not really. The thing is, he was just there ulting in that fight, and Kaisa is just autoing him.
Yeah, I don't know why he held on to Stridebreaker so long. I'm not too sure if it was on cooldown, but I feel like when he was walking with the Kaisa, he could have just Stridebreaker to sneak in more autos. But
Yeah, I think it was on cooldown back then after using it in the previous fight, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not really hitting. The Samira is kind of tickling people, you know.
yeah, oh, another steal? Yeah, another steal. Does Kha'Zix just run away with it again? But Set is here this time. Not too much backup from Radiant side. No, he's gonna definitely fall. He's trying his best to make his way out. Oh, the stun misses. I think
that's a really bad miss.
Yeah, his jungler falls, and now Syndra gets pulled back, ulted out of tower again, and she's gonna fall as well. There's the level 7 mastery being flashed by the
Oh
Kha'Zix.
my god, Asian. To be fair, it is Asian's second game in like 3 months.
Oh man, he tried. I think, Mane, if the stun lands, he can get away from that. but-
Maybe he would have gotten away with the stun ladder, but Aizen was like, look at this beautiful accuracy and perfectly shoots the ball between two people.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and RTO still really far behind compared to this set.
I bet
Look
he
at
wish he
the-
bought items right now.
Look at the CS difference, around 50 CS up. And
The
that's
top-
not really good for the 8 shocks.
The top side is.
The goal graph is shown, we can see Flash and D commanding the lead for quite some time. There was a period, I think, when the bot lane was ahead, where Radiance had some hope. But
That
now
was
they
around
really
the time
need
when
to...
they got those kills around Dragon, but oof, the top lane is.
Yeah, the top lane is really struggling. And Seth very smartly isn't just hanging around topside, he's trying to make sure his lead is everywhere on the map. And this Drake should be secured for them. I don't think Radiance has any way to get it here. Unless the Kha'Zix goes for like a hero steal or something. I don't think he
They might
is.
try to do that, but it seems like they're going to give this up with the defensive positioning that we see.
Yeah, all
Samira
5
catching a couple
rotated
basic
through.
players, That's it.
Seth looking for something. Echo lands the stun. Good buffer by Natsu and baits out the Kaisa ultimate. That's actually quite a few spells baited out. But now RTO
I don't know if he wants to be here. There's the pullback
I
by the
don't know.
Zek.
It seems that he has
It's the
baited
fight.
the
Oh
Archeo.
my god! The ultimate by the set and the W. He is just overtaking this fight. And Flash on T, all 5 strong, is just running over Radiance right
But
now.
those right director Samira 1 versus 4, no?
No, I don't think so.
RRF. Well, meanwhile, Aizen does manage to grab a couple of waves at the bot lane, shove the wave out completely to the tower. I think he could have gone for some tower damage over there, but chose to play it safe and return back to base. And
That's the
RTO
most
kind of got baited
consolation.
by RTO kind of just got baited by his old team, saw the hook and just walked up too far ahead. They're like, okay, maybe the Nautilus got away, but it's buy one get one free Fridays.
Nautilus actually a good buffer on the hook there by Natsu to actually create some distance, but I don't know if there was a communication gap. Aatrox stepped too far forward, and there was all 5 present there. And now the strength of the Nautilus Samira kind of starts falling off, and Tarek starts to become much more impactful. Because anytime you're gonna try and go for a pick or a fight, the Tarek ult is gonna cancel, and it's so much damage and buy so much time. Zuko is still leading the experience chart. That's how ahead he is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is
he is
definitely
okay.
something.
I see something interesting here. Tariq has more XP than his ADC.
Swords! Okay, Natsu gets the hook, but there's the stopwatch by the Echo. Echo's just gonna dash out, it seems. The Nautilus ult comes to Zac, jumps in to create more distance. Zac doing so much damage now. Samira gets the S rank. I wonder if he'll pop out. Finally, the ult comes down. No kills come through. Finally, the Echo falls. Zac goes into his passive, but the Kaisa is here. If he's gonna stick around to try and see if he can do anything. And here comes the Aatrox. Aatrox pops ultimate. Tarek is here now. Kha'Zix gets away. They can't finish off the kills. And that's the Radiant's lack of damage coming through. RTO very useless in that side. Does not have the damage and just has to back away. It looked good. It looked like they were trying to get something. And I think they did get Kawakata's passive, but it took so much time to actually finish off the fight that the reinforcements came through.
That was beautifully played by Charan Reddy, just buying so much time over there. He just comes in with that perfect stun.
We've seen this
to buy
before.
time
We've
and
seen this
for
before.
a game.
RTO's probably gonna fall now. 3 people driving him. Good Q3 to buy up some space. Good healing, but there's just
Oh,
way too
no.
many people. Natsu comes in, but I think he might
I
want
think
to
they could
back
have
out.
actually killed Natsu there.
Yeah, I think
But
he
they
might
didn't.
want to back
Well,
out.
it probably would be an overextension. Pretty. They don't know that the rest of the team is actually topside, right? But they
Yeah.
could have been topside. But
Oh, that. Oh,
Are
I
they
thought
going
they
to
were
do
starting
that?
there. No.
Oh,
It's just
no way.
classic damage. They're They're trying to get out to Tarek here. Not the easiest target to take down. And Echo's here now. So's the Kaisa. Natsu on the wrong side. Kha'Zix taking so much damage. There's the ultimate coming through, but immediately exhausted. Can't take them down. And the Tarek off now. It's buying so much time now. Zac jumps in. It's a disaster. And Radiants are just getting steamrolled now. Nothing's working for them, and this game is pretty GG.
I don't know about nothing. But me says if no stride breaker, Samira get killed there.
Maybe, but you're also exhausted. So the exhaust plays a big part in mitigating a lot of the damage. Here's the gold graph again, it's
6K
ballooning
gold
out
gap.
of control.
It's a 6K gold gap at 22 minutes. That's huge, and this is before Baron, so they're going to get Baron, get another like 1.5K, and there we go.
Yeah. I've seen crazier comebacks happen, but Radiants are gonna have to do something incredibly miraculous now to get this done. Radiant
do we-
Virtue by Zac is also another
He's
kind of...
looking, he's just looking to be as annoying as possible by as much time. He knows his team is ahead. The enemy team isn't really built out for an extended fight, and Zuko is just being
Yeah, he's just
really, really.
chilling.
He's
Yeah,
just chilling over here.
Yeah, there's the W coming through, but there's a lot of Radiant members here. Let's see what happens. Never mind, Flash MD, the cavalry is here. This should be a wipe again. RDO falls 2 for 1 here. Not too bad considering if you're Radiance. I wonder if Kaisa's gonna take that. No, she does not.
Just a very, very cheeky bait by Zuko, honestly.
Yeah, but if you're Radiance, you take those, right? 2 for 1 isn't too bad considering the game situation.
Well, it's a 3-4-1.
Oh, apologies.
3-4-1 and dragon. And the dragon as well. So,
Yeah,
hey, yo,
I don't.
consolation prize.
I guess I don't know what you're gonna
Yeah,
do as
got the
Radiance
bounty,
at this
got
point.
bounty, the bounty on Zuko, I think.
Yeah, I guess you're just waiting for them to make mistakes now. It's not really in your hands anymore.
Yeah, it's just
Uh,
kind of at the point where they need to kind of wait for the mistakes. But it's also kind of really hard to capitalize on these mistakes because we see Kala Katta and Zuko just they're playing very
yeah,
bold, but they also are like so beefy and Radiance is so behind that they don't really have the damage to kill them in time without risking like a collapse, and they just don't win a full blown 5 versus 5 4 versus. They might
yeah,
not win a
no.
4 versus 5 at this point. They're pretty far behind.
Yeah, the Syndra damage, even the Kha'Zix and the Samira rely a lot on burst, and there's so much burst medication for Flash on D, it's kind of impossible. Set has Gold Drinker as well as Terex, there's a Taric, Zac
Yeah,
has Radiant
I
Virtue.
really don't know what this build is. Stride Breaker. To be fair, I haven't been playing for a while now, so
I
it
understand
might
the
be a thing.
rationale behind Black Cleaver, because the enemy team is so beefy, you want to cut down on that armor. They're
I
just
don't know.
trying to look for picks,
I
I
would
guess.
think it's just better off to let the Aatrox build a Black Cleaver.
Yeah, definitely, and I would
I mean,
suggest
he's
an
not solo
LDR.
killing anyone at this point. He's 1-6-1. He's super behind. Early game did not really go as to plan, but it looks like
Zuko,
Zuko is going to start a
another
fight here.
insect back. Natsu just gets blown away. Zuko's W actually hits multiple people here. Kha'Zix's trying to look for an angle to get out, but they see him, they pull him back. Kha'Zix should be dead. The Zac jumping after the Samira. Yep, Kha'Zix is followed by the Kaisa, and that's just so much damage. Another stun miss by the Syndra, and Samira can't really get away from this. There's the Strike Breaker, but way too much gold on the other side of Flash and D. They don't even need to take favorable fights now. They can just kind of smack them around with their wallets, and this game is really over.
League of Legends pay to win confirmed.
Yeah. No. Well, I don't know if this is allowed on YouTube, but this is pretty bad trashing. And pretty
Mm.
unexpected. Radiance usually puts up a very good fight in these tournament finals, but it is a best of three. They can bounce back. Gold graph is around 10k, and I don't know if Radiance
At this
can do
point, yeah,
anything.
that gold graph that like we were looking at around 22 minutes, 6k gold, and it's 3 more minutes and
Yeah, it's
four more
10k
k
now.
is added to the gold difference. So that's a lot, and it looks like Zuko pretty much leading the I want all the money gang, and yeah,
Yeah,
he has put all of his money into a fixed deposit, and the deposit has matured. That's not true. He had all the money from the start of the game. Some
yeah,
really
from the
really
start.
questionable plays by both Ezreal and RTO, and Zuko has just been having a great time this game.
Yeah, Zuko's.
13.5k gold.
It seemed like Zuko's lead just kind of bled around onto the map, whereas Radiance couldn't really capitalize on their bot lane being ahead, especially after that good dragon fight that they had. It
Yeah,
just seems
it's
like
pretty
the
rough
rest
for
of the map
RTO right
wasn't
now.
good.
Pretty rough for RTO. He's kind of competing with Natsu Dragneel for gold there. And
Yeah,
Singla is now officially a level up on the Kaisa. Let's go flash on D.
yeah. So we can also see that Taric is still ahead of his guys somehow in terms of EXP. And he's also ahead of the enemy ADC, so Taric Gaming right there.
I think that's a macro issue. I don't know. I don't think the ADC really should be behind the support in XP at like this point in the game. So
Yeah,
uh,
especially maybe in the early games perhaps, but not at this point in the game. Yeah, this game, I don't know what else to talk about potatoes. We're kind of over.
like how's your day been, man?
It's not bad. I finished my
I think
thesis for
Radiant's
my
day just got
undergrad.
a whole lot worse.
Y- Yeah, we can see the inhib timer on the bottom left. We only one inhib is down. That's gonna come up in around 3 minutes time. And I don't know if the game will even last that long. The game might
That's
just end
three
before then.
minutes of super minion money they have to catch up, which will not be enough.
I don't think it'll be enough. But surprisingly, considering the state of the game is going on for a very long time. This should have ended a long time ago. Almost a
Yeah.
30-minute game. And they have a 10k gold lead. I don't know why they're not pushing it. Radiance is looking for something, but the entire Flash MD team is right here. Zuko goes in. He's not taking any damage from anyone. Syndra gets taken out. Echo just flashes outs out. RTO is a cannon minion at this point. Samira ult is actually pretty decent, but there's the Taric ult coming through, and that's the only pick that they get. One kill for five, and four. RTO managed to. Oh, never mind. I spoke too
Oh
soon.
my
Zack
god.
found him. RTO's gonna fall. There's the Kaisal. Goldrinker gives him a bit of healing, not enough. And that's a clean, not a clean ace. That's a 5-for-1. And Samira has left the game already, so has Ivan. It seems like the game is over and they're just prepping for the next one. Nothing
I,
really to play
I
for here.
I do have a feeling here that the game is about to end. I
Oh,
don't know.
great
Call it
prediction.
call it intuition.
Yep, there's the game. GG, Flash and D absolutely pile grabs Radiance in this game. Always at the lead. Only a few glimpses where Radiance had a bit of a chance in that dragon fight. But yeah, it was Flash on D all the way. And welcome back to SMG Weekend Tournament as we get ready for Game 2 of the Grand Finals where Flash and D took Game 1. And let's see if Radiance can bring it back and bring us to a series, or will it be a clean sweep by Flash and D?
Yeah, hopefully there's still some fight left in Radiance. Hopefully there are no more Stride Bakers and Black Cleavers available to buy for Samiras.
More than that, it felt like the top side completely collapsed for Radiance last game.
Hopefully there are items for buy to the for RTO.
Yeah, I think RTO finished the game on like one item or two item at max. So let's see the bans coming through. Zach gets taken out, unsurprisingly, had a huge impact last game and was very hard to deal with for the Radiance. Let's see what else gets taken out. The national champion gets taken off, Morkazer.
Gamers
Ah.
rise up. We will not stand for this oppression.
And the Terry
Let
gets
the
taken
Mordekaiser
out.
go.
The weak fear
I think they're just gonna ban the entire Flash and D comp from last game.
Yeah, I think that's that's the angle they're going for. On the other hand, it seems that Flash and is like, you know what, we like the bands we went with.
Yeah, let's see the final ban. Yeah, they're actually just banning out the last game's comp.
Uh,
They did
that's
not have a fun time that game, so not surprised.
this is
We'll
a
see how next
classic
game.
gamer moment right here.
Yeah, just rage banning everything. And
Oh.
first picking the Samir.
I guess
no.
not.
Okay, the Jarvan comes through. Jarvan's actually very strong right now with Goldring
And it's
Trojan combo.
yeah, also takes it away from Kalakata, who does love playing that champion, spams the shit out of it. Won't
Yeah.
be able to this game.
It's almost like a fourth ban, almost, where you just pick
Almost.
something away from them. So Flash and D, let's see if they can go for the set again. It's left open.
Yeah, but it does mean that all of Zuko's favorite champ. Oh my god, is that a move?
Yeah, Amumu, I'm pretty sure it's going in the jungle. We have seen Amumu supports in the past, but not in the recent past. So I'm pretty sure that's the jungler for Kalakatra.
I hated that time.
Support Amumu with MF.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
Just press R. Oh, the Kaisa comes in again. The Kaisa was actually really impactful last time. Well, impactful in the sense that he managed to get through the lane phase safe. Oh! Vayne being
Oh.
hovered.
Oh,
Vayne.
we are
Wait,
doing it, boss. We have a
Radiants
wait
are just having these like really bold blind picks that they're going for. Last time it was Kha'Zix. This time it's just okay, Vayne. We're just gonna do it. So this time we might actually see a static shift on the Vayne.
Yeah, this time maybe we'll go all the way from one static shift prediction to two static. Two static shy.
That's a plural for shift.
I mean, shifts is kind of like I think static shy just has this
Dasha.
SH double I. It just has a nice ring to it, you know, static shy.
Okay, we see the Alistar and the counter pick with the Janna. Janna's only a counter pick to Alistar if you have fast hands. If you mess up the combo, oh my god, you're so dead.
That is true. Like
If you can't stop the initial engage by the cow, the WQ combo is gonna basically kill you. You're so squishy.
yeah, that's true. But if he can pull it off consistently on this amazing ping that we usually have, which is at best 40,
Yeah,
then let's
I
go.
think he should be able to because it's also a pretty decent pick into the Jarvan. You can see the Jarvan coming in.
You can kind of predict it coming and then do it and then play off of that. But yeah, being able to react, like it's not actually like reacting to it as much as it is knowing that it's coming.
Yeah, it becomes a bit easier for the Janna if she has ult up, because that's more instant, because the tornado takes some time to like set up properly. The Renekton again taken away, I would have personally from the side of Radiance given RTO all the comfort that he could have. I don't know why Flash and D banned the Aatrox. They dealt with it quite fine last game. But
It looks a bit of a meme right now.
anyways, let's not make
Maybe
fun
they are
of
like
us
we
game
don't
situation.
We don't want
Yeah.
to deal with we don't. That was just too pathetic. We don't want to see it again.
Perhaps they were more of like they managed to shut him down last game. Doesn't mean they can do it all the time. RTO does have quite a big repertoire of champions that he can pilot, and his elo is pretty high in solo queue. So I'm sure they don't want to give him his comfort picks. Hence the Renekton and Aatrox ban coming through in the second phase. Which means a Malzahar pick comes through, one of my favorite champions to play gets picked. I'm excited to see how this gets piloted, and I think Malzahar is extremely underrated as a champion, and more people should play him.
Also, just on a side note, Sam, everybody knows that it's you trying to promote yourself in chat. I see what you're doing there.
The Victor comes in. Victor's actually pretty decent into Malzahar because your laser can proc his shield very consistently, and that brings one of Malzahar's greatest strengths down. You can also match his wave clear pretty well, and you have your own shield, and you really shouldn't be hit by the ultimate unless he's flashing onto you. So that's a pretty decent kind of pick. This time, RTO gets his hands on the set, uh, hoping to exact some revenge this time. And there we go. Gwen gets picked. I love Gwen. I hope Gwen wins. I'm a Gwen player. I don't know if you know that copy paste.
Uh, r
So
slash League of Legends.
so Gwen gets picked up. It's actually a very pretty decent counter into set if you can get going. But if the set gets starts off with a lead, we all saw what happened last game. It's pretty hard to stop him. He's so tanky, and even if you do try to burst him down, he can just W and return so much damage back on the enemy team. This
We
time,
saw
I
that.
would say Radiants have a much better comp, much more balanced.
We did see quite a few of the set clapbacks in the
Yeah.
previous little game we had. But as my good friend Jax would say, imagine if I had a real item.
Yeah, let's see if this can go much better for the Radiants. It should, theoretically. I'm just not so sure about the Vayne pick. Everything else I kind of liked. I feel like Zaya was an option that they could have gone for. Ye was also open if they wanted to go for a more aggressive ADC. Draven was an option. Varus is open. Misfortune is pretty strong. Ash with the Triforce build isn't bad right now either.
I don't like the Vayne pick, honestly. Like, sure, Vayne does have a slight advantage over Kaisa and laning phase because it's pretty slight with this range advantage. And but as Vayne, what you want is just these really broken up kind of fights where you can take people down one by one, but might not take with champions like Malzahar, Kaisa
Yeah,
Jana. That might be hard to get.
that might be hard to get, and Vayne takes a bit of time to actually start dishing out the damage that she wants to. I don't know if the game will be stable enough until then, because in the mid lane there's also Victor who's also hoping for a late game. But on the jungle, this time we don't have the Kazakhs to kind of expedite that. So let's see what happens. We do have a
Yeah.
set in the top side. I expect the jungle to be playing more towards the top rather than the mid bot because I kind of think I would expect the Victor and Vayne to just want like a chill lane phase where they're just farming and gaining XP.
Yeah, they just wanna chill out a bit, get that XP. But kind of no, because Vayne is going to struggle with wave clear in the early game, and they're going to have to threaten the Kaisa Jana with some form of all-in pressure, or they're just going to completely lose control of that lane and just get perma shoved in and have a really miserable time.
As long as Vayne is able to farm, I don't think she minds being shoved in too much. But let's see how that goes. Static Shift does mitigate some of Vayne's wave clear problems, so I expect that. Unironically, Static Shift is actually pretty decent on Vayne. So I expect that to be built,
Yeah, but
and let's
I
see how
feel
that
like
goes.
scaling will like the Jana, like Vayne individually does scale pretty well, but I feel like Jana Kaisa is going to scale a bit better than the Vayne Alistar.
Yeah, perhaps the Janna. There's a lot riding on the Janna to kind of provide the interrupts and the peels, and to slow down the Vayne when the fight starts. Because if the Vayne is ulting in front of you, you can actually just slow her down. Because even if she's invis, she's slowed by your W, which makes it easier to land your Q eventually. And I expect the Janna to run exhaust in this matchup.
Or you can just have the Malzahar press R.
Yeah,
outplay him.
Let's get outplayed.
The Janna can
It's
also
going to be
shift the
kind of
Vayne
hard
away
for the
pretty
Vayne to
easily.
navigate these fights, right? Because you want these broken up fights where you can isolate targets. Well, not like Kha'Zix isolate, but get on them and silver bolt away to glory. But he's gonna have to dodge an Amumu ult, not get close to the Malzahar. Like the spacing here is going to be pretty rough for the Vayne.
Yeah, definitely. And it's something that will be up to that'll be up to the Vayne to kind of navigate around. QSS might be an item that she picks up. Cleanse will also be pretty useful this game if she has it. And
Goes for the ghost.
yeah, so QSS is a necessity this game.
So it looks like it's actually we have some role swap arenas here. Aizen on the Vayne. T-Berry
Whoa,
goes to support Alistar, and he does play a lot of support, so he should be pretty comfortable there. And Natsu Dragneel back in the mid lane.
yeah, some main swaps coming in. It'll be interesting to see if this goes better this time. Uh, so yeah,
So let's see, is Radiance going to pull off a that wasn't even my final form? We were just role swapping, bro. Or will Flash on the take them down once again to go in sort of a 2-0 upset? So let's go Radiance. Again, disconnect. Okay, looks like we have some technical issues over here, and Insync seems to have disconnected. We'll be getting him back in here really soon, but meanwhile, you guys get to listen to my lovely, lovely voice as I rant on about many different things, including never mind. Insec is here to stop me.
no, it's fine. I had some technical issues, but they have been fixed. I'm just waiting for the game to get on so that we can get you back on to Summoner's Rift. QSS, like we was talking about, will be pretty essential. I wonder if Vayne is gonna go or are they gonna go for the support item? That is QSS. That's kind of slower though. You have to communicate to your
Yeah, I
support.
kind of forgot. Like, you do have that item. I think we'll be needing the QSS, honestly. Like, I understand him foregoing cleanse because cleanse doesn't really help against the Malzahar. And in terms of laning, like, what are you going to use cleanse against, like, Kaisa Jana for? Nothing. Doesn't do anything.
Nothing much, yeah. The support items, Mikhail's, I think it's known as Mikhail's, is
Yeah, because
you have to be very in sync with your see what I did there, in sync. You have to be very good with your support because delays can mean life or death for ADCs. So the support has to be proactively looking for opportunities to like cleanse it off. Whereas if you have the QSs yourself, you're more relying on your own reaction time rather than someone else. But
that does
also if
mean
you're
that,
going QSS, you are foregoing an item slot which was meant for
yeah,
damage.
yeah, it's a bit hard for Alistar to get that Mikhail's up and going, the support income. And on the other hand, if Vayne buys it, it does delay her core power spike items by a lot. She's probably going to go for a static shift first, anyways, to kind of
Yeah,
bridge the
and
wave
also
period.
we have to understand QSS is not a full item, it is a component.
Yeah,
So
it kind of it does like that's a lot for an ADC, right?
yeah,
Investing
yeah.
1.3k into an item that doesn't really give you any damage.
hmm But you can get it a bit faster than the Mikhails because it's a component.
Yeah.
So trade-offs everywhere. Let's see what they decide to do. But some form of CC mitigation is needed, whichever path they decide for it.
Silver Mare Dawn, hey yo.
We saw a Stradebreaker, so why not?
It's not off the charts. Maybe he just goes straight.
Have you ever seen anyone build Silvermere Dawn?
I have
Ever?
built it. I have built it myself
I built it
once.
once. Yeah, I built it like
And
once.
that was about it. I was like, why did I buy this?
I think I was like, it was in a ranked game. I think I was the only fed one, and there was a Malzahar or something, and I really needed it. That's the only time I used it.
I think
And
I
I
was
have
in a normal or a
never
rare.
seen.
I
I've
think I
never
bought
seen
it
that.
in ARAM.
I've never seen anyone buy that item. It's so useless.
It's
Oh,
it's
the
I don't
traditional
know, bro.
pose.
It's great. I love it. It
It's
has
so expensive.
it's round and it has like spikes on it and it's like glowing. It's super cool.
Isn't that like Mordekaiser's old weapon? Like old Mordekaiser weapon?
Yeah, it's basically Mordekaiser. This. So that's why Mordekaiser was reworked. Turned him into an item.
At least he got turned into something. Aatrox got turned into Riven.
Riven 2.0.
And then they took away his one unique feature of reviving.
Not reviving. Riven 2.0. And speaking of Riven 2.0, we have Vayne versus Vayne 2.0, as I like to call
Uh,
it. Down in the bottom lane, but yeah,
and then they made Seraphine, which is just Sona. It's just another Sona.
Sona 2.0. I don't know. Some of these champions just make me go, hmm.
The classic pause, Bangladesh League team pause.
It's not a South Asian tournament if the game is not paused at the
Yo,
start.
do you think Team India's gonna pause in Asian games just for the heck of it? Because they're so used to it.
I
Imagine Team India goes up against Korea. Match starts,
like
pause.
we need to pause. Then the referees show up and like, hey
Yo, what-
buddy, why are we pausing? I
oh,
gotta.
mid
I just
laners
got
aren't chilling us.
I just
mid
got
laner,
to
mid laner doesn't have electricity, you know.
somehow just the middle laner sitting in the middle doesn't have electricity. Like what the fuck?
Team India debuff. So random player. One of their players DCs.
I swear, like the infrastructure gap is real, right? Give us
Sasimaka is like pretty famous on Twitter, by the way.
yeah, I have seen that. Pretty famous right now. Everybody is rooting for Sasibaka.
Because I think
Sasibaka with 2Ks.
one of NRG's players who plays for LCS, I think he's like Indian American. So he's like, yo, in Team India sending someone, and they didn't call me. And everyone is like, don't worry, Sasimaka is gonna hold down the fort for you. So finally, the pause is unpaused, but Vayne, I don't think is here yet. He's just kind of chilling at the base. And let's see what happens. On the other side, let's see any level 1 shenanigans or not. Radiant's ADC is actually still not here. They started the game regardless. Are they just gonna play 4v5? It seems so.
Maybe they're like he doesn't buy items anyway.
And there's the pause again. Like I was saying, like one of NRG's players, Dokla, he's like American Indian. So it's like
Yeah.
he was really surprised that India is sending a team to Asian Games. He's like, yo, why didn't anyone invite me?
It's like you think you can stand up to Sasibaka.
I,
That's kind of sus.
I don't think, I don't think he could have played. I don't know actually, because
I do believe he has American citizenship, so he doesn't have Indian.
yeah, I
citizenship.
don't think he probably gonna run into visa issues or things like that.
Yeah, no.
And
I don't
as
think
far as
he's
I
eligible.
know, India doesn't allow dual citizenship.
Yeah, we
so-
don't allow dual citizenship over here. You are either one of us or you are the enemy.
Yeah. So yeah, finally Vayne is here and everyone has items. Great. Step 1 checked. All right.
All right, we have items, but are we going to buy more items?
Just to let everyone know, Flash on D did win the first game. So we are on the second game here. Radiant's fighting to kind of stay in the tournament. This is a best of three finals, so hopefully we see a much better game from them. They got steamrolled in the last one.
It was a bit of a whooping, or not
Uh,
quite. I assume they're not quite pleased with that, but it seems that we are going to have an ocean drake, so a really good first drake.
yeah, there are some drakes like where one drake means like nothing. Like Chemtech Hextech, one drake isn't really
He's
that
like, I
impactful.
don't care what this drake means.
And eyes on RTO to kind of redeem himself. He had a very terrible experience last game. Some his fault, some the enemy jungle just camping him. So hopefully he makes a good comeback. And Radiance will be hoping if the top side is more stable, their bot side can naturally generate leads as they did the last game.
And
Yeah,
look,
some early trading. Nothing
this is
really.
looking like pretty much exactly like the last game.
Yeah,
I don't know
RTO.
why.
There, Zuko gets a good trade there, gets the center Q. RTO gets the level 2 first, wants to trade, lands one Q, and just has to back away now. Mid lane again. Oh, Victor gets the space aids. Unfortunate there.
Yeah, like Set obviously does benefit a lot from that passive region that he has, wants to trade a lot, but yeah, Zuko is finding himself with a bit of an HP lead over here, going for another trade, it seems.
Yeah, RTO really needs to avoid the center Q from the Gwen. It's stay chunking out his health pretty significantly. I think he just wants to crash this and back. He just gets a trade, eats a tower shot, pretty
Oh, it's
even.
a tower shot there. All
Yeah.
the action is in the top lane. Everybody else just be chilling.
Yeah, I don't think Malzar Victor is gonna be very exciting. Both of them just kinda wanna chill. Oh, Alistar though goes in, but
Oh my god, the insane trade knock up into one auto attack.
Vayne can't really do much with the early aggro. Zuko's winning out on this. RTO actually flash W ignites, but the Momo's here. RTO's gonna go down. Zuko survives.
And Kala
Enzian is
Zuko just picks the
yeah,
perfect moment to start a fight. RTO really kind of unsuspecting for that. He blew his flash ignite for it.
very unfortunate. I don't know if he could have beaten him. Because like if Kalakota isn't here, Zuko just walks back into turret range.
Yeah, and if he goes for the dive, he dies.
Yeah, he definitely dies. Good trade this time. Actually manages to proc the Vayne passive and forces a back. This time Aizen is actually playing pretty well. He played well the last game as well. It didn't go in his way, but he was the one lane which had a good lead.
Yeah, he could have just waited for that wave to kind of push into him. But it's still pretty much around the center. Instead, Kaisa walks up, takes a really bad trade, and now has to walk back.
Yeah, a slight CS advantage to the Vayne, but I think the Kaisa catches most of this.
Luckily for
They're
him,
trying for a
Kaisa-
gank. Zuko just sidesteps and hits them with the thumbs up.
like cool bro.
Good gank, good gank. He
But-
might try to cancel the back there. He can just stay.
Kind of a
No,
bad
never
spot
mind.
over here with the freeze that has been set up. Wave state not really ideal.
Alistar again going aggressive. If they're gonna play aggressive, I really wish that they would have picked Zaya or something. But
But
because
this
with the
might have
Vayne,
been the wrong time to play aggressive.
yeah, he's gonna try and turn one back. Lethal Temper procs, they actually get one back, but the kill goes over to the Alistar. Alistar wants to try another one back maybe. Oh no, he actually pushes them back now. The range from Kaisa is enough to clip him there, and a double kill to the Kaisa that is not worth because the Alistar gets the kill. RTO again losing out on these trades, doesn't manage to get the W on him, so the trade is gonna go in favor of Zuko.
Yeah, Kalakatta just having insane impact here. Even like previous game, he was pretty
Yeah,
much just
yeah.
everywhere. Now he gets a successful gank up in the top lane, gets a successful gank down in the bot lane, and things aren't looking too great in this early game.
Yeah, Radiant would want to stabilize the game a little bit more. Kalakata's actually, his timings have been impeccable these last two games. RTO could fall if he's not careful here.
Yeah,
Uh,
already one kill on the Gwen there, and he is slowly getting chunked down. But
He
this time
gets
he
sick first. This is his chance to try and do something. He wanted to. You can see that he wanted to get aggressive there. Doesn't have the chance. Still, Gwen's got 6. He has 6. Finally goes in on it. Gwen inside the spool. But the camera shifts away. We don't know if Gwen is gonna fall. On the
It
bot
seems
side, a
that he's
lot of
going to
cheating
get
going.
away.
Oh, unfortunate. I don't know how did Gwen survive that.
That was an interesting miscalculation by Zuko. He went for the cannon, probably thought that this cannon is going to give me the XP to level up, but
He's
then
staying. Zuko's staying.
suppose is indeed staying, but I think he should be fine. KK is there to back him up, and
Yeah,
seems like
RTO.
RTO is just going to take a recall here and walk
He
back.
recalled so hard. He recalled out of the game.
My.
Yeah, there's another pause coming in. Positive trade from RTO. That's good. He's actually stabilizing the lane pretty well. Has a 10 CS lead, but I think it's just bouncing, and Gwen should be able to pick up a lot of these under tower. That's why he stayed. He didn't want to give up the CS and EXP. On the other side, Aizen and T-Berry doing well. On the minimap, we can actually see Jarvan's right there. Uh, can we have gold grabs while the game is paused? Perhaps not. We're just gonna wait for the unpause to come through. Until then, until then, RTO having a much better game than last time. Same with the jungler. Natsu also keeping up with the Mangoheart CS. RTO has reconnected and the pause has been lifted, so we get back into game. Or we get stuck in zero. Uh, the it. I think we're still paused. This might be just a visual bug here. Oh, there we go. We're finally up from the pause. Zuko actually manages to catch the wave, which prompts RTO to stop his recall, but he doesn't know KK is nearby. This might be a big mistake by him. Jarvan's also in the bot side, but bot lane is playing it safe. I don't know if Alistar can get a gank off. On the other side, KK is actually ready to gank on the top side. Zuko gets the ultimate, gets the slows down. KK misses the first Q. Zuko misses his ult 3, and the second Q also misses. RTO gets away with it. On the bot side as well, the gank doesn't work out. Alistar goes in when the Jarvan is not no longer here, so that's not a threat anymore. And yeah, RTO is staying around. I think he should have stood back and came back to catch the wave.
Yeah,
And Golgraph
both
is-
top laners really don't want to give up that wave, do they?
Nope. Goldgraph is on. It looks like a big lead. It's because it's the early game. It's not that big of an issue. Uh, unsurprisingly, Flash MD have the gold lead. But this might swing it with Radiance actually rotating over for the Drake. It's in full vision of Flash MD, but they're not in a position to contest with their jungler
That's
just
some gaming.
having
Hell yeah. Do manage to pick up a nice little. I think that was a Hextech Drake.
No, it's Ocean Drake.
Oh, that wasn't the Ocean Drake. Oh, my. Do
Right?
doth my eyes deceive with me?
I don't know. Maybe I'm hallucinating. Apologies for the confusion. On the other side, yeah, even though it's 3 kills for Flash and D, it's not like the last game at all yet. Actually, Radiance had a lead for a lot of the early to mid game, except the top side. So it's going pretty even this time. The top lane is much more stable.
Yeah, pretty relatively even because last time we just had the situation where the game snowballed completely out of control. Still, it's only 8 minutes into the game, and something similar could still take us. But for now, it seems that they've kind of stabilized, stopped the bleed, and
Oh,
as I say
good
that, a
trade from
fight
the
begins.
Vayne. Janna is there, but once again, the Amumu, right place, right time. The Vayne is gonna fall. Amumu out goes down. KK having the most insane timing, and he's reading Radiance like a book this game.
Yeah, it feels like the bot lane for Radiance is just kind of desperate for a fight, and Flash on D has just picked up on that, and they're like, if we step up, these guys are immediately going to engage on us. So let's just call the jungler and grab the free money.
If KK doesn't come there, I think there is a kill onto the Vayne because the Janna fell pretty low. You can see here, right, even now. Took a turret shot, I think. But the Amumu's timing was way too good there and could not finish off the kill. Malzahar, I think
Yeah,
he's gonna dissuade the
think it was.
stake.
I think it was planned. This probably was planned. Like, yeah, I'm coming. I'm
RTO is
coming.
actually fighting with Zuko. Both of them using out. RTO should win if he lands the double. Great flash to actually line it up, and he gets that revenge solo kill on Zuko. But he should fall now with the Malzahar coming in. He's gonna stay in the bush. Hits the Q. I don't think he has much place to go. KK is here. The Jarvan's here. KK just turns on the Jarvan, but he doesn't know Natsu's here. The ultimate goes down. If they can take him down, he falls. This is a turnaround by the Radiance now, and RTO actually survived that using the bushes to great effect.
And Charan Reddy did actually manage to take down RTO. I saving ult for next game.
I think RTO cut vision with the bush, and I don't think Malzahar wanted to get like face check the set. He's probably waiting for Amumu to come in to do that, but Amumu got collapsed on. Alistair just heads but Kaisa back. I
A
don't know.
bit of a free death, honestly. I think it could have been avoided.
Yep. And RTO finally gets the revenge kill onto Zuko. Complete solo kill there.
This time he does not forget to buy his items, and look what items do. They give you stats, and stats help you get kills.
And KK wasn't around this time to kind of bail out his laners. So finally, play goes, works in the favor of Radiance. It seems so long since that has happened. It seemed like KK had them on a dot. But this time the play works out in their favor, and KK kind of walks in onto two people that should not have happened. But yeah, it seems a temporary lane swap. Victor and Elsa is on the top side, where Seth and Gwen are mid. I think the mid favors the Gwen, no? He wants a shorter lane.
Yeah,
so that
the shorter lane definitely will work out to the favor of the Gwen, who's just going for those snippy short trades, whereas RTO really wants to run him down, but there really isn't any space.
RTO would like to switch back, but maybe if given the chance, right now he really can. But that's what I'm talking about. The Malzahar shield is basically a non-factor. Victor can proc it whenever he wants.
Nothing seems to be coming out of it, but yeah.
And nothing really happens, but it's always kind of more dangerous to play as Malzahar if you don't have your shield
it's
up.
a bit of a risk.
You just feel uncomfortable for some reason.
It looks like Ezreal here is trying to do a little sneaky down in the bot lane, but
Yeah, look
but
for a
he
lane
seems to have been sniffed out. And beautiful combo by Irvin.
T-Berry just kind of flukes that Q, whips that Q, but now Mumu's here and the TP comes through. Another TP by the Radiance as well. T-Berry actually insects out the Janna, but then immediately the Malzahar comes through. Vayne falls. The Jarvan goes in to try and get the Kaisa. Kaisa also away. The Victor is now the only source of damage as the Alistair falls as well. Victor gets them all so low. RTO's here. There's a flash by the Kaisa. RTO can't get on anyone. This is tragic. And now RTO has to run away as the Malzahar damage is coming through. I think they fall. No, Victor forced to flash, but there's the Kaisa Gwen damage coming through. And the space aids onto RTO means he has to run as well. What a turnaround by Flash and D there.
And that definitely worked out. Not the most clean fight out there, but it looked initially like Radiant had the numbers advantage, and they did for a very short amount of time. But like the turnaround was so quick with Aizen just kind of stepping too close to the Malzahar, immediately gets altered and then bursted down before he can actually he does could do anything.
The Vayne couldn't really contribute to that fight, and the he should be out if he has EQ. Gets Q1 by the Amumu.
Oh,
he baits out the Q2. Alright. I was gonna say that was planned.
This is some 5D chess going on over here. But yeah, coming back to the bot lane fight, Vayne just drops down instantly, and they are able to, like, Radiance was kinda able to pull back a bit with the flank from Zuko. And the flank from RTO rather, and big mistake there by Ordinary Man, who stepped back inside the Victor ult. So he gets stunk super hard, almost dies for it, but barely survives. Just long enough for Zuko also to join the fray and turn the fight back into their favor.
Very unfortunate there by Radiance.
Yeah, the last dragon was a Hextech dragon. This one's an ocean.
Okay. Apologies. Radiance looks like they want to contest this. There's the TP
I
coming
don't
through.
know about
The
that.
smite goes in the favor of Kalakata. Now can the German get away with EQ? Nope, gets Mazar ulted. And that's that. The Radiants tried to fight for it, lost out the space and lost out the dragon and the kill. If production team can show us the gold and EXP for each champion, that would be great.
We have the EXP graph filling. This time
Who does
RTO
that turn around RTO on top of this?
RTO on top. But on the flip side, look at the bot side. Pretty heavy with other members of Radiance not having
RTO
that much
takes
XP.
the entire fight, gets the turret actually, gets the ult down. W lands, he's gonna flash on top of the Gwen. Gwen's healing is so damn much. He turns it around, RTO falls. What a tragedy.
That is not good. That was the one member on Radiance right now that wasn't really kind of falling behind. Well, Victor is also doing fine, but he's
Victor
also
wants
a
to
bit.
close this, but there's too much distance.
There's too much distance. He can't catch up to the Gwen. Really, maybe once he gets his augments, there's a possibility. But that goal difference kind of has been holding steady in the favor of Flash on D. So Radiance is kind of just holding on in there, but they just need that slight push in order to equalize
Yeah,
it and then
it's
maybe get
on a
ahead.
knife's edge right now because if Flash only get one more favorable fight where Radiants don't get anything back, it's gonna start to snowball. But Radiants need a couple of fights to actually start getting onto the lead. And maybe that RTO kill would have been something like that, but the RTO just misses out where Gwen's R3 healing is just enough to like keep her in the fight.
We have no static shifts. I am very sad.
Oh no, what? Vayne didn't go static shift?
I kind of expected
Damn.
the Wayne to go static shift over here, but possibly
Yeah.
didn't want to auto push the wave too much in this matchup. Kind of
Yeah.
makes sense because they were able to kind of control the wave because Jana wasn't able to block Alistar engages, which got them a lot of pressure in line. So it kind of makes sense. Not wanting to auto push the wave with that static shift because once you get that static shift, you don't really have a choice, right? The moment you
Yeah,
auto
it will
attack the wave,
push, it will push. Yeah. Flash and D all rotate over for the Herald. We've seen this a lot. And the other side, Radiance opt to keep their ADC in the bot lane to get some XP and gold and possibly even the tower right now. Right now they just need to avoid an engage, and right as I say that they're getting engaged on, T-Berry gets away, Jarvan looks for something, no, it's more like a caution. But they still can't get back into this lane because of his Malzahar. The Jarvan is looking for something. He just gets completely outed RTO. To have his W actually managed to use it. But now he's under the enemy tower. I don't think he wanted to go there. Jarvan gets a huge knockup off. But it's Radiance who fall first. RTO, who got ulted and chunked so early, is the first to fall. But Radiance are getting towers around the map, so that's something.
yeah, Radiance does manage to get the tower, loses a member for it. The thing is that is going to give them some like elevate the pressure a bit temporarily while those towers are down and they have access to more of the map. But if they aren't able to really use that to convert that extra pressure they have out on the map into a goal lead, which is a bit difficult at this point because their top laner has started to fall behind and their
Yeah,
ADC, their bot lane in general is pretty behind at this point. So they're kind of forced to play around that Victor, who right now is like kind of still relevant. But if they are not able to capitalize and FOD is like eventually able to take down those towers on the side of Radiance because they haven't taken down those towers, so they haven't really gotten that much in terms of tower gold right now. So that goal difference could expand in the future, and that might not be the best for Radiant.
yeah, Radiants are hanging on just by a little bit. And again, this time RTO tried to engage first, but he got immediately Malzahar ulted and took so much chunk damage that he couldn't really join the fight.
Yeah, that was
And
really
even after
beautiful.
that, he ulted into their tower, which I don't think he wanted to do. I think he wanted to join his team by like, ulting them backwards. Didn't
Yeah,
really work out.
he completely fudged up the W there, firing it backwards, but it gets like completely sidestepped. Like KK just walked through him, and then he
Yeah,
ults into the tower. Doesn't really get anyone. Just lands in empty space, and then is taken down by the space aids.
Yeah, I think he was trying to like ult him into his own team. I don't. Maybe the positioning just didn't work out. This time, FOD puts down the Herald in the mid lane to create pressure for the Drake. It seems. Victor is holding on to that. Radiants have a lot of space to work with. Let's see how much they choose to give up. Q1 misses by KK. Radiants are completely backing off. They actually give up the pit to FOD. It seems like they're gonna give up the dragon as well. Unless Jarvan goes for a steal, I don't think they can create the space anymore. Gwen is here. Jarvan just gets ulted. And
That's
the
an ult.
Drake is secured.
Alt over
Q1.
wall. Just
Oh, Alistar goes in. He pops his ult to try and survive, but Radiants are just backing away. They do not want this fight. It seems like Alistar is just going to be sacrificed to the wolves. Yep, he falls as the rest of Radiants try to run away. Jarvan is trying to take his Raptors. I don't know if that's the best idea. Like you were saying that the lead by F40 is starting to bleed through now. Radiants are losing out on easy objectives to try and hang on.
yeah. So this is what it's boiling down to. They had all of that map pressure and the space to move, but they weren't able to capitalize. Now what this means is that Flash on D is going to move around the map, take up the really easy outer turrets, and it's honestly pretty hard to stop someone from taking outer turrets. It's like way out there, especially when you're already behind. So they're going to get access to that. They already picked up the dragon for themselves, and this means that gold read is guaranteed to grow for a bit.
Yeah, if you can see the gold graph now for the entire team, and the gold lead has kind of increased, and it's still not dire yet. Radiance shouldn't there's no alarm bells just yet. Radiance still are in touching distance. They just need a few good decisions, few good fights to
It,
go their way.
yeah, it's not out of control yet, but now we see that in terms of player gold, Zuko is now back at the top, and look at that RTO. He's close to the bottom.
Yeah, he tried to do what Zuko did last game, which is to like spread his bleed across the map. But unfortunately, the plays just didn't work out for one reason or another. He got Malzahar ulted, or he was just a little bit too late, and hence his lead just got lesser and lesser and less impactful.
Yeah, and like right now, like the top three gold spots are taken up by FOD. So this is not ideal. Natsu Dragneel is kind of just in there. It's pretty small. The difference
Yeah,
between fifth and first is just like 500 gold, but like a lot of the problem is the bottom side where RTO is just really behind, and the supports of course they're just down there at the bottom.
yeah. If we look at the item list as well, Gwen has 2 items complete. Zed is yet to complete his second item, whereas he was the one to complete like Mark threats first and had a great lead in the lane. On the
Yeah,
other side, the junglers are pretty even in terms of items, so our mid lane. I would say Victor's ahead because Victor's items are a bit more expensive.
yeah. Victor's kind of Victor is ahead. Like he's ahead. He's up by 100 gold, so there is that. But I feel like yeah, Victor is better in the late game compared to Malza. Malza is still pretty strong in the late game, but some of his power is fairly situation, whereas Victor is just he's going to pump out damage. It's pretty hard to avoid the damage coming out for a Victor, and we see a bunch of items being completed for the side of FOD, and this might, with everything else down and only the Baron left on the map, this spy could be what they need to close this game out and grab that Baron.
Yeah, Radiance will be, I think, looking to just not do anything. RTO actually is gonna catch out Zuko here. Let's see if anything comes of it. Zuko should be able to just dash away. The dash gets interrupted. But FOD are all here. Zuko's taking a lot of damage. RTO takes him further away from his team. Can he land the W? He can. The Gwen goes down, but there's the Malzahar out. And actually, the fight is going in favor of Radiance right now. As 2 more fall, the Jarvan ult comes through, and FOD are crumbling. KK couldn't get into this fight. He is left with his ult up. He just couldn't reach his team in time.
So that was a like a
It seemed like the
sequence of
Gwen was
disasters.
waiting, like his team to come and kind of help him. So he was
Yeah.
holding on to his spells, whereas RTO was just trying to create space between the Gwen and the rest of her team. Gwen falls with all of her sums up. Well, you can't really use TP, but Gwen falls with Ignite up, and she just got separated from her team, and KK wasn't in place to kind of contest. He's gonna try and steal this Baron, I guess, but the Alistar is making sure he can't get near, and I don't think he can manage it. He actually flashes in, lands the gets the Baron!
Holy
He's gonna
shit!
he's gonna die for it, but oh my god, I think all of his team has Baron, I think.
Is on fire this game. Throughout the early game has an insane amount of impact and now comes in with this honestly just
Insane
miracle barrel
speed.
still to
Alistair
kind of just
used too much of his cooldowns too early. The Baron wasn't low enough to keep him away.
and that's going to be really bad for the morale of Radiance
Yeah, Radiance.
because
I don't know
they had this
how many of
amazing
FOD
fight.
was up.
Yeah, because they had this amazing fight to turn the game around. Can we have a look at the goal? They had this amazing fight to turn the game around, and then immediately they get Baron taken away. So the gold has kind of equalized, and they're going to pick up this dragon. And yeah,
You
the
can
gold.
see the gold graph had gone down and immediately shoots back up.
Yeah, this is crazy. But speaking about the fight that kind of turned things around, Zuko's dash got cancelled out. So that was really bad. And then I think the big mistake was Ordinary Man just dived in so hard for Aizen. Like
Yeah,
that is
they're
not.
gonna try and engage now. They're gonna go on the Alistair. Alistair pops the ultimate. Vayne keeps away the Amumu for now. Q2 is going to land. The German is here. They should look for a turn right now. It was a 3v4, but I think they had enough there with the Victor TP to turn it around. They chose not to. And Victor TP is for nothing, I would say, because I don't think they were
Yeah,
gonna push
Victor
in.
TP was kind of blown. I think it was smart of him to not go in because most of the major cooldowns from FOD you can see are still up, and they still have Baron buff running. So that a 3 versus like taking a fight on even footing is not what they want to look for. They want to create an advantage and play with that.
Yeah, the last time they won that fight, they created an advantage by like kind of separating the Gwen away from her team, and Gwen was kind of waiting for her team to like get in and kind of help her. You could see her like holding on to her cooldowns.
Yeah, a
Uh,
big misplay by Ordinary Man. I feel who dived like very deep for Aizen.
yeah.
And that's because Aizen is kind of is he's a it's a Vayne. He has Kraken Slayer. He's just completed his Triforce, so he was pretty behind back then. He didn't even have 2 items, so really not worth for you to put your life at risk for the enemy ADC is already behind.
They're gonna get the mid lane inner and keep pushing with that Baron buff that KK managed to steal away. And all of FOD was actually up, I think, when that Baron was stolen. So everybody got the Baron buff, minus KK obviously. But that was such a huge steal, and the game just went back into their favor, and they got inner towers both in mid and bot lane. And they're just gonna back away now and reset.
And that's more items coming through for the side of FOD who continue to hold on to this gold lead
Yeah,
by
4K
tooth
right
and
about
nail.
now. Again, Radiants aren't out. It's still within touching distance, but they're gonna need another fight with the win, like last time. But this time, not get the objective stolen away from them.
Yeah.
So let's see how they can do that.
And as there is a break in the action, as the Baron buff goes down, we have some time to look upon what is happening. And guys, do remember to like, share, and subscribe. You are
Yeah.
enjoying this game.
Make sure to keep up with the SMG socials so that you're in touch and the first to know about when new tournaments and more exciting games like these are coming your way. And right now
course,
it's
and
kind of a
my
lull in the action.
Yeah, you're basically here for the casting, the caster desk. I know. I just know.
Uh,
Main highlight.
no comment. Yeah, I don't think Radiance wants to fight right now. They're just oh, there we go. The QSS comes through for the Vayne.
So
And
that's going to get him a lot of freedom. And we have
ITO
some fightings.
chooses to take the fight. Actually, I don't know how smart that was. Has to flash. Gwen can just dash over. R3 misses, and I think that's it. But that's flash down from the set.
Yeah. Can we have a look at the gold graph? I want to kind of see how much the gold shifted after that, after those Baron pushes. And there you go. The Baron push immediately, like, not only resets the gold difference, they actually managed to grow it. I would say it's still kind of more of the same because we have also moved forward in the game. So, it like as the game expects, the percentage of gold that is
Yeah.
forming the difference is still kind of constant. So we can see that the lead has slowly been growing for FOD. There are a few ups and downs in there, but yeah, like things continue. Like Radiant seem to be slowly bleeding out, giving up stuff bit by bit. There was that one team fight where they were able to turn things around, but other than that, they just kind of still trying to hang in there, just find anything.
Yeah, it seems like the late game is the hope with the Victor Vayne. They should be able to pump out a lot of damage. But it's not like FOD have a weaker late game either with the Gwen, the Kaisa. Malzahar is not bad in the late game either. Neither is Amumu. And Janna
Yeah,
can actually mitigate a lot of the engage that comes through from the Jarvan and the set. Oh, Alistar manages to avoid an engage. He's a Janna tornado, but I think he's fine.
yeah, he's all good over there. He just
Jarvan
is
eating
able
some
to walk away,
6.
but it looks like they're going to look to collapse in the Malzahar over here, who has to flash over the wall
There's
to
a
stay
TP
safe.
coming through from
Oh,
FOD. I know it's on the wrong side, but there's the Zonya to buy as much space as possible. Amumu jumps in. There's the whole team fight going through. The Alistar the set on the backline and Gwen on the backline of Radiance. Gwen gets the kill, whereas Radiance are falling. The RDO cannot get the job done. RDO falls. Even without Kaisa in the fight, Radiance are winning this out. Kaisa has to run away, but on the other side, Radiance lose on this fight, and the Alistar is gonna fall. And it's FOD back in the driver's seat once more. Alistair falls. That should be Baron and Dragon. They're gonna split the difference. Nope, they're gonna take Dragon
this just
later.
might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, as they really lose a team fight that they could not have afforded to lose. Like the teleport, they initially thought that hey, there's a teleport coming in, maybe we can punish for this, but Zonya's Hourglass gives them enough time for the rest of the team to kind of catch up and
The two
collapse on
dives
them.
that
And
happened where Alistair and Seth went on to the enemy backline, whereas Gwen dived onto Radiant's backline. Gwen crucially managed to get the kill, whereas Seth didn't. And that
yeah,
just
because
turned the fight completely.
the FOD backline didn't have the Kaisa in it. The Kaisa was up there in the front line.
Yeah,
Almost died, but did manage to live.
Kaisa actually got chased away, and Seth could not get the kill on her. And Radiant started Drake. I don't know about that one. RTO is on the flank, pushes the Amumu into the enemy team, but is completely alone. Where is the rest of Radiance? Finally, the Jarvan all comes through. Can they get the Melzar down? They do. It's a 1-for-1, but Vayne is so low. Wants to rejoin this fight. Jarvan also managed to get away. They're trying to kite this out. Great kiting by the Vayne. Gets the Graham down. Can they get the Drake? Victor gets the Drake. Amumu goes back in. Does he have the ultimate? No, he does not. He falls as well. And Radiant somehow, someway turn this fight around. I spoke too soon. Kaisa goes in to finish up the Alistar, but there's a full health Victor here who takes out the Kaisa, jumps in for I don't know why, and immediately flashes away. And Radiance just refused to go quietly and gets another fight again. Oh my god.
That fight just seemed like a lot of miscommunication on the side of FOD, where some of the members continued to fight, where and the ADC and the support and I think one more member they just chose to stay behind, and
Yana
they
is
just did
staying.
because it seemed like the fight was already won because RTO went in and he was able to land a W onto the Kaisa, but just the W doesn't kill her. And he gets taken down. The Jarvan almost goes down, and Ordinary Man just suddenly chooses to just
Natsu
stay back.
is the one person on Radiance who is dishing out so much damage for his team and is basically soul carrying. But in last fight, crucially, Vayne managed to survive the Gwen and kite it out properly. And Malzahar couldn't get an ult onto a carry of the Radiance. That's like these are all of the conditions needed for Radiance to win the fight, and they finally managed to pull it off.
Like I feel like the fight was honestly going in the favor of 40 because they just had so much gold that they were just winning through brute force. Like just a straight up 5v5 with this gold difference, it's kind of hard for Radiants to win. But then they just seemed like completely split apart. Like, it seemed like every single member was trying to do something different. Half of the team just trying to clear up Dragon, and then a couple of other members were like, I want to just keep fighting. So Just
Yeah,
a
it
lot
seemed
of
bad
decent.
for the Radiants when RTO went in with zero backup and I was basically 1v5 in that fight for a long time. But finally, when the German went in, he actually managed to isolate someone, and they got the pick onto the Malzahar. And without the Malzahar out stopping someone, I think Radiants were able to just overtake the fight.
Yeah, and ordinary man just kind of let the Jarvan walk away. Instead, chooses to ult to his death later on in the fight. Like
Yeah,
he
to
could have
kill the Alistar, which was kind of
he just
surprising.
yeah, I think he could have gotten the Jarvan there for free. And like if the Amumu had more support there, instead like they chose to take down the
Well,
dragon. Like
Jarvan is on the enemy team. He actually goes in, gets a good out of, but there's a bit of a desync where Alistar gets knocked, blocked by his own Jarvan's ultimate. RTO goes in, big W comes through. The Vayne damage is insane, but he gets caught. The QSS is not enough. I don't think she managed to take someone down. Double kill from the guys of Melzar flashes in to get the silence onto the Alistar and kill him. The sole surviving DPS from Radiance Victor is running away, doing as much as he can, but the redemption is enough to heal everyone back up. Disconnect from the Radiance there as the Jarvan actually blocks his own team from following up on him, and he gets isolated 1v2.
Avian just kind of forgot that the Jana ult is going to disengage his own ult and chooses to go for that engage anyway, and just finds himself in a spot where the Kai'Sa is just freely whacking away at him and can't really survive that.
Yeah, and like you can see the Alistar and Set wants to join the Jarvan engage, but because of Jarvan's own wow, they're separated and it just doesn't go in their favor. Every time Radiants make a positive play, it seems like FOD just punches back.
Yeah, like this game has been super back and forth, and
Or it stops the back, but nah, Jarvan, never mind. Please continue.
not much happened there. Yeah, it feels like there's just a lot of back and forth going on in this game where just both
Oh,
teams are just not.
Arturo!
What the hell?
He just finds an Amumu there, but he's so tanky, and RTO I don't think does much damage. Finally, the Victor comes in, and the Alistar manages to keep the rest of the backline busy. Vayne is here untouched, but there's a ultimate coming in. The Victor goes down, and two people fall as the fight gets separated. Now it's up to the Vayne now to DPS as much as he can. RTO gets another W off, but there's so much CC, and big Vayne falls, RTO falls. And it's just Jarvan who's alive, and he's getting TP'd on.
Maybe to chase down the Javan, this might be GG.
Oh,
Oh no, the
wait,
space
why
apes
is
has
the Jarvan
connected.
still here? Hello?
It looks like he is going to. Oh,
Oh,
is the. Oh, why he just. He goes back? Oh no.
that's bad.
What? Okay.
This might be game as FOD is pushing onto the base and the death timers seem way too long. It's only Alistar up in 4 seconds and I do not think he can stop 4 people. And there we go, FOD is hitting onto the Nexus. Alistar tries to combo, but the Zhonya's is there. And the tournament winners is Flash on D as the takedown Radiance 2-0 in this best of 3 finals. What a game. Back and forth, much, much more competitive than the first game, wouldn't you say?
Let's go FOD. It's caster's curse, you know. It's like. It's all me actually.
Yeah, and Radiance put up a much more valiant fight this time around. Very back and forth. They had a lot of opportunities. Some of the fights just didn't go that way, and the Malzahar ultimate seemed way too strong to stop their engage. And yeah,
Yeah, Radiants were really hanging in there. They were fighting for every single every inch of ground, but in the end it kind of just wasn't enough, and like they weren't able to overcome the gold lead that FOD had established for themselves in the early game. So
yeah,
this
the
ended up being
Radiance
too much eventually, and
were,
that beautiful Baron steal by
yep,
KK
that really
just
turned the game
amazing.
around because if the Radiance could build a goal from there, stage a comeback, the game could have been completely different. But that Baron steal completely swung the game again in their favor, and it was just too hard for Radiance to like keep fighting back all the time. It just seemed like Radiance were playing catch up, and eventually they just ran out of steam.
Yeah, it did feel like that. Is constantly trying to bridge the gap, always coming really close, but never able to just completely close, or always getting just a little bit greedy.
And that brings us to the end of the weekend tournament. And I don't think there's much more else from us. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe. Keep an eye out on the SMG socials for new tournament announcements in the future. And Potato, if you don't have anything else to add, I'm InSync signing out for now.
Goodbye, my friends. I will not be signing autographs after this.